No, you're not on mute. There's no jams because I'm tight on time. You know, I've got a life to live. I've got some things I got to do, and I'm doing them. I had one of the most productive days I've had in a long time. I was very excited about today. Today was a blessing. A lot of relief, a lot of stress taken off my shoulders um, for what I've been putting myself through, and I'm happy. I'm happy right now. I'm probably the happiest I've been in a long time. It was a good day. Let's put it that way. There's so much to be thankful for. So um, I thank the Lord for what we got going on. Um, I think my wife's home. It's either my wife or my daughter. Someone just walked in because they're talking to the dogs. I can hear them. Yeah, we're gonna talk. Okay. So we got a lot to go over. I'll go over my stuff with you. We'll go over the interview, the whole thing, which is not going to be an issue for me. Um, and good to hear your happiness. It's contagious. Yeah, I think it's my daughter. I think it is. It doesn't matter. I'm very happy. Yes. So let's go over a couple things with you guys first. One thing that you guys want to know, if you watch the channel, welcome back. Welcome back to Marant's Rants. Plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice. For the first time in like forever, I was able to put my headphones in, my AirPods, my earbuds. I got these earbuds right here. These bad boys right here, and I was able to work while listening to something. And that hasn't happened to me in, maybe 15 years, or whenever I work off the channel here. It just doesn't happen. But I put them in and I was working. I was walking. I was doing some stuff and some reconnaissance, right? And I got to listen to the Ryan Cohen interview today. Ryan Cohen being the chairman of the board, the CEO of GameStop. And that was phenomenal. Now, there is a poll there. I want you guys to take it. We'll talk about it in a bit. And then we'll also talk about the interview. We're going to go over the interview right now. I promise you guys, some of you guys already heard it. It's okay. You guys are probably going to think that this is just a rerun and I already heard it and I don't need to listen. That's fine. The door's there. Go to the door, hit the doorknob, walk out. But we're going to listen to this. I actually just got a message sent to me. I already told you, these guys tag me in these posts, and I don't know what the message means, so I'm going to it right now. So I want to go to it really quick because let's just destroy all the nonsense, okay? So here's the message that was sent to me right here. And it says, the GameStop event of January 28, 2021 should have been called the AMC Clearing Clog, as AMC, not GameStop, was defaulting the main two offending clearing firms, Apex and Robinhood, which were not the main two. I just want to put that out there. And those are not the clearing firms because Robinhood uses Apex. This person is severely uneducated. By orders of magnitude more than GME. And AMC Clog was used to hide retail's GME buy button evidence. Okay, I mean, this is somebody sending this to me saying, data accurate. Okay, all stocks, no exceptions. The amount of money was this trade? Okay, see, they don't understand what happened here on trade 385. I do know what happened on trade 385. They triggered a halt. They triggered a halt, and it was worth more than the whole company at the time. Where are they getting these numbers from? This is from the GameStop report. Is that what they think? They think they can tell you how much so-and-so was getting called for? No, this can't be real. Like, who makes this up? Who does this? This is not how it works. And you can't do a midday margin call like this where it goes 10:45, here's what happened. No, because the end of the day is to settle, not any other time. So yeah, I don't even have to read this bullshit. Just know that whenever they put AMC in front of me, I just ignore it. I'm fine. So that's neither here nor there. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. These guys need help, okay? AMC investors need a lot of help, and they're not going to find it here with me. You won't find a safe haven. I have a very good relationship, and I have a very good reputation when it comes to investing and knowing what to invest in and why. So here we go. I know you guys want to hear the music, do all that. I was just in the mood just to get the show going. Let's do it.
And replace it with AI. Anyway, we have our first guest of the show. We have Ryan Cohen, the CEO of GameStop. Can you hear me, Ryan? How are you doing?
I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. We have serious technical difficulties today. But I believe we have you here on the phone. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for taking the time. How are you today?
I hope it's not echoing too bad.
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
We're doing great. We'd love to just get the story of GameStop from your perspective, kind of how you tell it now. You're a couple years into this project. We'd love to kind of get the high level, just to set the stage.
Where do you want to start?
Maybe the original idea. Like, when did you think you'd become involved with this company?
I originally invested as a passive investor.
Mm-hmm.
I had a few conversations with the management team and the board of directors, and I realized that I saw a lot of stuff that you read about, but you don't really believe until you actually engage with them. And as we went through conversations, I went from passive to active, and filed the 13D, I believe, in August of 2020, and then I joined the board in January of 2021. And the rest is history. The long story short is there's been a lot of changes at the company, a lot of cost cutting, a lot of rationalization, focusing on the basics of running a profitable business. And a lot of it was getting people out of the way. A board of directors that had perverse incentives, a management team that had perverse incentives. Ultimately, what you see is that when people don't have their own money on the line, they don't give a shit. And they're focused on all kinds of other stuff that ultimately doesn't matter to shareholders. And a lot of it was getting that out of the way so that we could actually focus on the business. And, you see it in the results of the business today versus where it was, not just when I joined the board, but you look at the results even prior to that. It's a tough business. Yeah, totally.
Well, what do you think the mainstream media gets wrong about the GameStop story today, or has gotten wrong throughout the whole saga?
That's not an easy question to answer, because we're talking in generalities, and
sure,
I don't want to I can't stereotype. General. Everyone thinks they know. The mainstream media thinks they know. I'm running the business, and they seem to have greater visibility into the business than I do. So everyone has an opinion as opposed to actually just focusing on the results. And in general, the news should just focus on the results instead of comments from the peanut gallery.
So there was Ryan calling out everyone on Wall Street, for people to have a negative rhetoric for GameStop when they, without a doubt, are running a better business. And we know that. And you know how I feel about it. I talk about GameStop till nauseum. But what'll happen here is Ryan's telling Wall Street, grade me based off of the results, right? And so far the results are magnificent, and they have been, and they're only going to get better for quarters to come. So every earnings report, we'll go ahead and see what that is, and I love it. So that's what Ryan's telling him. That's why he said, well, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean with these guys? Like, you don't want to be an asshole, but he also wants to tell you there are some people probably that believe in GameStop, but that these people out here that have the microphones, they just paint a different picture as if they knew or as if they know.
Yeah, let's talk about Q2 specifically. What made that one of the biggest quarters in years?
it's a focus on running a business like an owner and cutting costs and making money and leaning into the areas of the business where there's margin potential, just trading cards, and then getting rid of the bloat. As an example, I was just looking at this earlier today before we spoke. 2021, there were over 1,400 people in corporate.
Wow.
Today, there's like 400 people.
Wow. Yes.
And we're more productive today than we were in 2021. SG&A has come down by like 50%. So people build teams, they hire people. Ultimately, what that means is they delegate their work to someone else. You end up taking on this crazy cost structure, and it works when the business is growing, but doesn't work well once the business stops growing. And that's where GameStop was, and physical retail is tough.
Yep. How much of that corporate restructuring, going from, I think you said 1,400 people down to 400, how much of that is just reorienting around players, aligned incentives, picking the best person to actually run a specific initiative versus using technology, using software, using AI? Is there any sort of narrative around that you've found success with?
It's both.
Mm-hmm.
Even finding the right people, though, you don't know. I mean, I've been interviewing people for a long time, and you meet people, I meet them, and I get really excited because they're really good at the interview process and they know how to say the right thing. So what does that mean? It means they've got really good public speaking skills, so they over-index there. And then when you look at their execution skills, they're not great. Mm-hmm. So I've been as equally excited as people that I've hired that have worked out as I have been of people that I've hired that I wasn't excited about. And then they proved to me that they can actually execute. So, the results speak for themselves. You really only know once you put someone in the position and you see what they're capable of.
So when it comes to business, just so we're clear, guys, I'm big on this about making the plan, working the plan, right? So you make a plan and then you work that plan. And that's how you can really dictate like who's going to be the one in the fire. So a lot of the times for like Ryan's case, and he'll tell you about this later on, where he hired so many people that had past experiences from Amazon and all that. When he said, these teams build teams and then they delegate out, and it's just bigger and bigger and bigger, and the projects come out that way. I run small stuff, a 400 employee operation, small compared to GameStop, but that's currently what he's carrying over on his corporate side. And does that mean a lot to me? Yeah, it does. It does mean a lot because from a corporate standpoint, GameStop has found a way to become profitable. He said they cut 50% SG&A, and I would say it's more than that because I've done the math and I've looked at it. But it's how do you produce more dollars per man hour moving forward? And I think they're executing at a very high level. Some leaders, I'm telling you right now, some leaders, some people, like I have somebody in the chat who wrote to me and made a message in the video, and it said, Marantz, Ryan said something that, and we're going to go over it because he's going to say it, but that he wants to take this company private. And I said, no, that's not what he said. They just don't understand the mindset that Ryan wants to be here for the majority of his career, the bulk of it, because the identity is here. This is where the identity starts, and you'd be a fool to sell this off. You'd be a fool to let this go. So I like the way he structured everything so far, the way he's told you his cuts and what they've tried to do, going from being a passive investor to an activist investor. We know all of these things, but you got to remember all the roadblocks in the way. Private equity stepping out of the way, and then making it harder on you outside looking in. So whether it be bad press and or no relationships, you got to build them yourself. These are all the things that Ryan's had to do. I think Ryan's a case study, but you got to look at these two guys here in this interview. These are stock bros. These are guys who believe, Wall Street bets and the clippings, and they don't understand what GameStop is. None of them do. And so just remember that as you guys hear this interview, or continue to hear the interview.
They can tell a great story. They can put together a great PowerPoint presentation, but you don't actually know until you see what they can actually do. So there's no question that artificial intelligence and just broadly speaking, technology has increased productivity. That's been a big benefit, and then doing more with less.
Yep.
You take a $0 salary, you have billions of dollars of cash on hand. How do you plan to allocate it over the next 2 to 3 years? I don't want to go too long term.
There's we don't have a gun to our head, so it needs to be a situation where the downside is limited and the upside is really high. And that's a different calculus than the world of private equity or venture capital or any money managers where they're incentivized to deploy capital because they get management fees. In this case, a fancy way of saying is it's risk adjusted. And I don't want to lose money, and I want a situation where there's a good chance of making money and a really low chance of losing money. So it needs to be a pitch that is pretty much down the middle.
Does that mean you're waiting? You're waiting for a crash?
You never know what's going to happen in the financial markets. They can go from green to red, and they don't flash yellow. So when that happens, we'll be in a position. But
yeah, I just feel like it's notable that you have all these digital asset treasury companies that are just market buying obscene amounts of Bitcoin and other tokens, and you guys are taking a longer view.
Yeah, definitely.
And so if you guys listen, again, he said it has to be massive, like a pitch right down the middle. And what that means is like it has to be a home run, fat pitch, slow pitch. We are the strength. So when you think about the partnership with PSA, we have all the cards on the table, no pun intended, but we literally didn't pay anything for that partnership, but it enhanced our business. And we kept all our cash, zero cash burn. So if people want to partner up, let's partner up, but it's going to be, the onus is going to be on you, not us. And that's because we have the purchasing power. Not only, and it's a leverage game, guys. You can leverage all that cash. Think about all the money we've generated just by saying we have $4 billion. Well, they came out and gave us $4 billion worth of bonds. And we have $9 billion. Well, look at it again. Now we're doing warrants and people want in. Now you're thinking about, do we have enough inventory? That's the part I love, and we're going to get to it. But and I'll explain because I didn't get a chance in my shorter video. These questions, I know I'm reading the text right now from you guys. These are not softball questions, okay? These are not weak questions, as you guys put it. What these are questions for investors that are clueless. A lot of you are tone deaf, okay? And I say that respectfully. I don't mean that in a bad way. You're just accustomed to in-depth, dial down. Remember, there's a 10,000-foot view to everything. You can be way up here and go, GameStop, great investment. Then you come down a little closer and you want to dial down, right? You go, okay, well, now give me the 9,000-foot view. Oh, they do this, they sell this. Now give me the 8,000. And as you keep going down, you pinpoint it. Now we're on top of it. We're all investors. We're all extremely educated on the investment because we've been here with the show and the channel for almost 5 years. So you guys are privy to information no one else is to. So although it may seem elementary, these questions, they are essential when you want to build trust in the next investor. A lot of these people, they don't have the same acumen as you guys when it comes to you guys are proficient, you guys are borderline experts on GameStop, and that's to no fault of your own. You guys are just extremely bored with your lives and you guys want to figure it out. But don't think these are softball questions. Don't do that, because I'm going to tell you, when you ask questions of a CEO and chairman of the board of their company, they like to embellish. They like to overstate. They like to try to sell it on you. That is not what Ryan's doing. They're asking questions, and Ryan's right there. He could have said, well, we've got $10 billion on our plate, and I'll tell you what, when they're ready and we're ready, we're going to make a deal, and that deal is going to make us 10x our money. We know what we're worth. This market cap's bullshit. He didn't say anything like that. He didn't, and he won't. So just keep listening with investor ears, not with your expert ears.
What are you excited about in the core business over the next few years between retail, online? You mentioned trading cards. Can you unpack a little bit more about some of the key initiatives, like the customer behaviors that you see as really big opportunities?
I tried a lot of different things. So I originally went in with the Chewy playbook. Was we focused first on consumables. So we had a lot of success on pet food, treats, litter, things that you could put on auto ship. And then it went from focus on consumables, getting customers on auto ship, to we're going to be the everything pet store, and we're going to expand our catalog, and we're going to add all these hard goods. So I had all these preconceived biases where I was going to copy the Chewy playbook at GameStop and basically be like the everything store for gaming. And I hired a bunch of fancy people from both Amazon and Chewy, and we expanded the catalog, and we added a bunch of product, and most of that product didn't sell, and we ended up marking it down and taking a big hit, and it cost shareholders a lot of money. Because once you have the product trapped in stores, you got to mark it down in order to move and get it out of the stores. Whereas within the consumable space, if we ever overbought inventory, we just waited and ultimately bought too much cat food or whatever, it ended up selling. So,
all right. So I want to touch on that. Okay. And I want to explain retail and service, a service industry. And that's what all retail is. All your retail companies are service industry companies, right? You have two types of, what did I tell you guys? There's two types of businesses, right? There's manufacturing, and then there's customer service. Those are the two types of businesses in the world. And which one are you? You're GameStop, you're customer service, right? So we're in the service industry. And the service industry has 4 sections. And it's based like this, okay? And this is just so that we're clear. So you'll have, and I'll put them in order for you. So don't mind my V8 energy drink, right? So here's 1, here's 2, and then here's 3 and 4, okay? And this is going to be the production, okay? The production of it all. This is going to be the administrative. This will be your sales. And this will be your marketing. Okay. Now, which one's the most important? You ask yourself which one's the most important, and there's only one answer. Okay. The most important piece of your business is always going to be production. All right. The very end. And that is doing the duty, doing the job, selling the product. Okay. Doing the service. The product that you sold, delivering that product. It's what we call final delivery. You've heard me say this before. Talk about that in a title. So here's the thing. If I go to a company that's already running, this is not a brand new company. This is a company that's already going, a car, right? And I want to fix it. I want to do it right. I can't go and do what Ryan did. This is why I wish I could train and teach Ryan a lot, but I can't go and tell Ryan, what you did first when you got here. You went to the admin, okay? You went to admin, and not production. You went to admin, administrative. You didn't go to marketing and sales. You didn't go to sales, and you didn't go to marketing. You went straight to admin, and you pumped admin. You pumped it. You hired. You brought in the whole team. You pumped your admin. You did a phone call center. You did everything. And you go, wait a minute. This is not how business goes. You can't pump admin. That doesn't work. You can't pump sales either. You can't pump marketing. I'll tell you why you can't do marketing. Everything starts at marketing. I get it. So marketing, that advertising, all of that, word of mouth, whatever it may be, that gets you the sale, right? That gets you sales. But then the sale of it all, you need to have people process that sale, and then you need to deliver the sale, right? So, and this is in every industry. So you go, wait a minute, I can't go marketing. You know why? Because I'm going to bring in all these people, and I don't have the product to sell. I don't have the people to sell it, and I can't deliver it. I haven't fixed the bottleneck issue that is ahead of us. And the bottleneck is you went to admin first. You didn't go to production. So once Ryan got in, and Ryan says, hold on, let's just clean the scales. Let's just focus on production. Let's close as many stores as we need to. Let's figure out how to get final delivery. So what are you going to do? You're going to invent a credit card. You're going to invent other ways to pay. You're going to come up with your rewards program. You're going to go ahead and take care of the employees. You're going to put everything together over here. Okay? Everything over here to final deliver the product. Boom. We did it. Amazing. That's where we're at. Then you're going to go and you're going to go straight to your admin side. And you get all your admin in place. You're going to get all your paperwork done. Hire the right people and the administrators. You cut all the SG&A out. Boom. Now we have all the people to facilitate everything. We did it right. Then you come over to the sales side. And this is what I'm telling you. This is why we go after the inventory. We go, okay, how many Powerpacks do we have? How many PSA graded cards do we have? These are the relationships. This is the product. Do we have enough inventory? And apparently we don't, right? But if I had more inventory, just so we're clear, if I had 10,000 extra cards, or if I had so much inventory that I wish I could sell it, right? I wouldn't be able to because I didn't have the people to sell it, and I couldn't deliver because we were backwards. That's why it's a bottleneck. But what's the last thing you do in a business? The last thing you do in a business is marketing. That's the last thing. Last thing we'll ever do in a business is marketing. We're going to make sure we're a fine-tuned engine. Because I'll tell you something. You can have the greatest car in the world. You guys can have an engine, and it has a V8, and it's one of these Dodge Chargers. I don't know. I don't care. And I'm going to tell you guys something about it. You guys can have this great car. You're going to have all the bells and whistles. But that marketing... Okay, the marketing that's going to put people into your damn store, that marketing is the fuel. It's the gasoline. We haven't even pushed the pedal yet. We haven't applied the foot down. Nope. Remember, we're just doing recommendations. We're just doing word of mouth marketing. That's all we're doing. We haven't put any money into it because we can't. When you put money into it and you get it going in the direction you want it to go, you better have the inventory to do it. And apparently, we don't have it because we can't sustain the juggernaut of investors and people and shoppers, the collective. We can't sustain it. This is a problem, but it's not a dire problem. It's not something that can't be fixed. It just means we have to do it in moderation. We have to grow. Hey, and we get to grow once we figure out our inventory levels, and that's all going to be, rhyme and reason, year and date. So just remember this in the 4 facets of business. The very first one you're ever going to do is marketing. And what I mean by that's the first step of business, but it's not the first step. It's the last step. The last step is to advertise. The last step, and a lot of people think this. A lot of people think if I get $20,000 together and I buy a billboard, I do a cartoon, I do a commercial, I do some print, I'm gonna get all these people in. And then what? Then what? You don't have the servers, you don't have the menu, you don't have the space, you don't have anything. You're not ready for what's coming, for all the money you pump out. So you want to build that infrastructure. That's what I'm telling you. So before we get to marketing, before we get to sales, before we get to admin, get the production down, okay? The job itself. Now that we're ready here, production's good. We have a fine running machine here. Guess what? Our company's great. The stores are great. The employees have caught on to the culture. They know how to process. They know how to do all PSA graded cards. They're doing everything, right? Well, guess what? We're relying on a third party to grade the cards, and it's the service. We send out cards, boom, here we go. Well, guess what? PSA can't handle. This is a great example of the business itself. PSA, okay, all the steps. PSA production can't handle the influx. They're not ready. So now they've got to fix production, and they got to then go to admin, be like, okay, are we ready for all this? All these employees, all of this legalese, whatever you're going to do. Now we get to selling the product. Now we get to go ahead and say, okay, here we go. Here's all the PSA cards. Boom. When do we advertise? We can't even advertise. We can't advertise Powerpacks. We can't. Man, I'm telling you guys, the bottleneck that you have is a good one. Right? The backlog, this is an amazing problem to have. I get so excited and jittery inside when I hear these difficulties of how to run this business. Like with the headwinds that GameStop has is the same headwinds anyone would have if they had a crazy clientele that just buys you out. Guys, Pokemon cards are limited to 2 per member, 2 per membership, and they're sold out within the first 20 minutes. This is a phenomenon, and it's going to be even better once you figure out how to tighten up these bottlenecks. So this is what's happening with GameStop, and you guys should be so pumped about it. I hope that explains things. So just so we're clear, you own a business, whether you own a company, there's 4 phases of business, okay? There's marketing, that leads to sales. Marketing, and just so we can give you an example, marketing leads to the phone ringing. The phone ringing is sales. You generate those phone calls into sales, into revenue. Boom. Now we go to admin. We have to process the sale. We have to process everything and do all the paper. Boom. Now we deliver. We deliver the product you bought. So that is the 4 steps of business. And GameStop, finally, Ryan Cohen, figured out that they pumped up the wrong ones when doing it, because building Chewy's a little different. You're building Chewy from the ground up. You get to take orders. It's e-commerce. It's not a physical retailer. There is a different step for physical retail. And when you do physical, small business, large business, doesn't matter. Business. This works in all lives of business. I don't care. I'll talk to anybody about this. When you're doing it physical, you need to make sure that you can process what's coming in. And at this moment in time, our needs are bigger than what they can provide. There you go. Okay? All right, cool. Let's keep going with the interview. So I just want to take that time to explain GameStop's headwinds and bottlenecks.
Physical retail is very, very, very different than e-commerce. Yeah. And I spent a lot of money to figure that out. And so what I learned is that we went into all these categories, and a lot of we took some significant hits on losing money. We lost money. It's that simple. By trying to expand into all of these categories that were not core to the GameStop customer. And then along comes collectibles. And obviously, after expanding into categories where there's very little success.
So I'll stop the show really quick. Jay Kerwin. Jay, I appreciate you, sir. Yeah, I was caught up. I'm tired. I don't have a lot of free time. I apologize. Taking care of my niece and nephew was big yesterday. And then even today, I had to go do some canvassing. I had a marketing meeting off-site. I had some other stuff I had to do. So that was a lot of fun. And I have a big day tomorrow, too. But I appreciate the invite. I know a lot of you guys would drop everything you're doing to go meet Jay Kerwin for lunch if he invited you, which he did. And I'm thankful. And I love the man. And he's had my back since day one. And I appreciate it. But sorry, sir. A little caught up this week. It was a very eventful week for me so far. But that being said, I respect the invite and respect you, sir. And I hope we can meet up again one day. Yes, Anthony, I'm going to get to that about the website, Anthony. We will talk about it in a bit. Carter's Corner Pocket says, you're on it, Marantz. Target market research. Then you build the product with capacity to keep it running. Then marketing. Yes. So a lot of people know these steps that we're talking about. So appreciate you guys so much. All Ryan had to do was hire you, Marantz, and he would have saved a lot of our money. Yeah, you hear him talking about it right now that he lost a lot of money. I've always said I think I do better for GameStop here in this platform and educating the masses, because it would be so boring without us. What does Eminem say? It'd be so empty without me. This looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me if you need a little controversy, because you'd be so empty without me. And the reason why I say that is because there are some boring YouTube channels like these two fools interviewing Ryan Cohen. It would have been so much better for me if I interview this guy one day. But I will tell you that we have a great environment, a great community right here, and we're better than any other YouTube channel in the world, and I'm thankful for that. But let's keep it going, guys. Appreciate you. Yeah, if you hire me, Ryan, I know a lot. I'm a marketing sales guy, but I'm a production guy. I'm an admin guy. I'm a guy. All right, let's go.
Yes, your risk appetite at that point is pretty low. All of a sudden, we see that they're like the GameStop customer.
Yep.
Really, when it comes to trading cards, there's a strong appetite for trading cards. And that category has done very well. And we've gone from like 10% of our sales to over close to a third, probably for the full year, is going to come from collectibles. And
that's remarkable. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I want to know more about the collectibles thing. Let's table that for a second.
We're going to table that for a second because it is somebody's birthday in the chat, guys. So let's give a special shout out right now for one of my brothers, your brothers, Kingsbury. Now, Kingsbury is somebody who's been part of the channel for 4 years. I'm going to tell you something about Kingsbury. I don't know if it's been 4 years. It might have been 4 years already. But he convinced his brother to watch the show and other people in the planet. You know, a lot of you guys have told your friends and family about this show, and you guys are unapologetic about it. You guys go out on a limb for it. You guys, hey, I know you want to invest. I know you guys want to know a lot about investments and all that good stuff. This guy's going to teach you about life and investing. Marantz Rants, come on down. I speak in third person right now. I'm the Ricky Henderson of this shit. So I'll steal your base. I'll steal your girl. No, Mr. Steal Your Girl. No, I'm joking. Okay, we'll go back to this. I just want to say happy birthday to Mr. Kingsbury. We also did have another order for merchandise come through the channel. I forget the name. Oh, goodness gracious. I know how to go get it, though. Look up the name who bought some merch. I'll tell you right now, it was somebody there it is. So the person who bought merch, Paul Lepore bought a new Marantz Rants t-shirt. So I want to say thank you, Paul Lepore. Appreciate you for supporting the channel, myself. That's a big deal for me and the family. So thank you so much, Paul Lepore. And happy birthday, Kingsbury. Happy birthday, Amber. And there you guys go. Thanks again for the super chat, guys. Mark Merle, thank you for the super chat. And of course, Spadikin, my boy. And you guys don't know, Spadikin runs the Discord. He is the honorary captain of the team. No, he's just one of the guys, but I'm with you. Shout out to Derek. Every time I see Derek in the chat, bro, I'll stop what I'm doing. Somebody said, Rance, you only give shout outs to people. And I said, to who? Who? A couple thousand people? I don't know everybody, bros. Calm down. All right, let's go. Back to the interview. Ryan, you're doing great. By the way, Ryan, keep going. You're doing great.
Love to know more about where you see the traditional video gaming market going. I'm experiencing kind of whiplash because I see mobile games and free to play growing and micropayments happening. EA is getting taken private. You have a lot of stuff going on that end, but then you also have Palmer Luckey kind of bringing back the Game Boy and the N64 with Chromatic, and I know you're partnering on that. What are you excited about? What is the shape of the traditional sort of like video game market look like over the next couple of years?
The video game market is definitely going from physical to digital. Mm-hmm. So our ability to play in the digital world is limited. There's a lot of money that's being spent, and we've taken a CapEx light approach, like a pretty risk light approach to the digital world. If there's not a clear path to us being able to make money and a payback period that's pretty attractive, then this isn't a story of like moonshots.
Sure.
So there's no moonshots that are being done. Like we're focused on real returns.
Yep.
I love that, guys. I love that for every reason. So everyone out there that's daydreaming about digital gaming, about bullshit, about, hey, we're going to change the world, we're going to buy Steam, any of that, he's telling you right now, no, we want real returns. That whole world is another world that people are invested in. We don't have to go over there. I've always agreed with this. There is room for physical anything, physical media being one. But everyone else can't compete with GameStop. GameStop has a different clientele, a different shopper. And we're proving that right now. I'm telling you, I was in GameStop twice this week already. Twice. And I loved what I saw. Not only were there people everywhere, but they're buying anything. They're just grabbing shit. I saw a dude go in and grab a little monito, and I was like, bro, you gonna buy it? Bro, you're like 25 years old. He's like, gotta have that one. I'm like, what's he doing? Putting it on his shelf behind him and doing a YouTube channel? Who knows? I loved it though. That's what I love to see. Ryan, keep doing what you do, bro.
What about wearables, virtual reality? We heard a story about the Meta Quest or the Meta Ray-Ban displays, and a friend of ours went and had to test them at Best Buy and didn't have a great experience. And it feels like if we do enter sort of like a wearable era, there's a renewed demand for in-store experiences. Is that on your radar at all, or is that more of like a futuristic thing that you'll deal with it when it comes down the pipe?
I mean, when I think about wearables, the Apple Watch is a good product. When I think about the Meta Quest, I mean, it's a joke.
Okay.
All of the virtual reality stuff doesn't feel like who's going to walk around with these retarded glasses on their head? Like
He said the R word, bros. Oh my god, that made me laugh. I'm sorry. I love the R word for him. Shout out to Ryan. Hey Ryan, I actually gave away a MetaQuest part of the show, and I'm sure the person I gave it to was happy that we gave away a MetaQuest. But I will be giving away 2 Switches at some point, and I will be giving away the Chromatic. I just have to figure it out to make it wild for everyone, because I don't know when I'm going to be available, guys. The new career path, I don't want to break hearts right now, is something that I'm so interested in and burying myself in, like getting crazy with it. Still allows me to stream at night, don't get me wrong, but that means I really won't be there for earnings reports. I won't be there for the earnings report, an earnings video live. But why would it be live anyway? When the earnings come out at 1 o'clock, it is what it is. But I could always do that night stream when I'm just thinking about earnings right now, because it means a lot to us, the way we gather, the way we talk, and the way we read it. And we've been doing it for so long. But I love what I'm doing right now. So I never thought I'd be where I'm at today. Like I'm that happy. So yeah, we'll deal with it when it comes up in December. But Ryan, I love it. I love what you're saying. Giving away stuff. I'm sorry for getting off there. I just if you think it's physical games will be collectibles. If you think of it, physical games will be collectibles. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. These guys are asking such bad questions. No, they just don't know. And you guys, I'm telling you, it's not the same. They don't know. These are 2 stock bros that are uneducated about GameStop. They don't know meme stocks. You guys should have seen the show before he came on. They were so boring. I was like, who's watching this shit? Like, where did you find this? Where'd you find this channel to get onto? Whatever. And I'm sure Ryan's marketing team figures it out. But if these guys are fishing for like, hey, I think we should interview Ryan Cohen. Let's give him a call. Like, I don't know. I don't think their audience is that large from what I see, from what I could tell, because I wouldn't watch them. Absolutely not. I mean, if I wanted to go to sleep, I would watch them, because I know a lot of people did fall asleep waiting for this to happen.
It's just, it does not seem like that's the future. But if we could sell a product and we can make really high margins, then obviously we're going to sell the product. But we're not investing in virtual reality or in the metaverse unless there's a clear path to being able to deliver results for shareholders.
Yeah.
Check that out, guys. No metaverse, no bullshit, no NFTs. No marketplace. No. You know why? Because they have a money glitch. They have an infinite money glitch right now. There's so much money coming into GameStop, and it's forever profitable. That little engine that could, as long as they don't need the money themselves, they're not going to sell shares. They're just going to hold them and keep investing, because the money's going to keep going up. You can borrow against your position. They all know this. Some of you guys don't know the way money works, but in this case for him, he absolutely is just going to keep churning the tables. Now, this is bad news for you day traders. Bad news for you swing traders. Bad news for you young kids that didn't want to listen to me years ago and said, no, I need a hit. What was his name? The guy Yukon? What's his name? No, Goku. Goku. We gotta make that profit. Okay. You guys will see. Guys, I promise you, I'm gonna be sitting here in like 10 years from now. I don't want to promise you. I'm gonna make myself a promise. 10 years from now, that GameStop money is gonna be massive. Like massive. And what am I in? Oh, by the way, the update's up here. I know. I promised you guys an update on my position, and it's right here. So here's the update. 42103. Sounds like a website, huh? Sounds like a music video or something. Right there. 42103. 1734. I wanted to buy 4 more. 1738. I'm like, wait, hey, what's up? Hello. Hello. Shorty, get your fine to the door. Oh, somebody's here. My daughter or my wife, one of them. Somebody's home. I just heard them. Anyway, that's how excited I was about my position today. Just started to get into good little, because, I heard Ryan was going to do an interview, so I wanted to make sure I was ready. You never know. Ryan, every interview you do, bro, I'm buying $1,000. I'm just telling people now. I was ready to go. TBPN biggest viewership was today, and that's all I needed to know about them. Yeah, somebody said they got 4,500 people in there waiting for Ryan, and I was like, oh, okay. And then what they do, subscriber only, and if you were gonna type in the chat, you had to be a subscriber for 24 hours. I was like, what? Yesterday, like people were like, nah, we can't do that. So I'm excited. There goes Richard Newton options trades and no day traders. Oh, yeah. Exactly. I'm excited about it. You know what I did? I'm going to be honest. I don't want to see. I hate that. Oh, I got to get better at that. I know I have to get better at. There's certain things I have to practice, guys. And the phrase of "I want to be honest with you" is that there's no such thing as you. You don't have to proclaim, make an announcement before you say you're going to be honest. Either you are or you aren't. So I have to get better at it. Like it's something that I listen to when I talk. I'm like a perfectionist about certain things. When I'm in the public setting, there's certainly not here with you guys, right? No edits, no cuts, boom. But when I'm out there talking, I was in a marketing meeting today. Oh, let me tell you, man, that marketing meeting was, they're like, hi. I said, don't worry. Oh, we're going to be working with you. I said, yes, you are. And they're like, okay, do you know marketing? I laughed. I said, yes. I have over 20 years experience in marketing. What? Oh my God, you speak our language. Yes, that's how it works out. It works out that way, and I really do speak the language. So, and thanks to people like Trove, I'm caught up on the cutting edge of SEO and things like that. So, I was excited. Anyway, enough about my day. Let me level with you. There you go. I like that. Like that. Oh man, let me be open with you. Let me level with you. Is it, Carter? Yeah, how may I help you? Hey, Carter, I'm going to have to start putting your little gems in my book, bro. Carter might be a businessman. Carter might know how to talk, He does his show, and he's unhinged Carter. I'm not a believer. I don't buy in on unhinged Carter. But the Carter that actually gets to sit back and type out comments, I don't mind. Unhinged Carter? Oh, shit. I'm going to shoot you. I was like, what? Oh, somebody block this guy. Mute him right now, please. Anybody comes into my chat and the first thing they say, sorry, I got it. Boom. The first thing that you ever say in this chat cannot be, what about Beyond Burger? Whatever, Beyond Meat. We're not going to talk about that nonsense here. If you don't know how to read SEC filings, if you don't understand what mass dilution is, I don't want to talk to you. If you're going to pump out a penny stock, I'm not talking to you. And by definition, any stock under $5 is considered a penny stock. So do not talk to me about penny stocks. That's the last thing I'm going to tell you. Are we fine? Cool. Let's keep going. Love you guys.
I meant more just as like Apple does have the Apple Store network. Other companies that are trying to get into wearables and might need in-store demos don't have one of those. But yeah, I mean, your rationale makes a ton of sense.
It's so interesting to think about when I hear you talk, Ryan. It's everything you say aligns with thoughtful capital allocation.
Yes.
And yet the broader like world seems to believe that this is just about being, kind of, this is, it doesn't.
It's moonshots.
There's CEOs out there that have effectively meme stocks, and they just act and talk a lot differently than you do.
No, this is refreshing.
What do you think about some of the conversations? There's been, I guess, rumors that the admin is interested in companies moving to biannual reporting instead of quarterly reporting. Do you think that's smart? What kind of moves from the admin this year have you been particularly interested in?
I like reducing costs. So if it costs us less money than to report biannually, then by all means. I think it's important for shareholders to have visibility into how the company is doing and then making a determination whether they want to stay invested or not. But if we have an opportunity to reduce our costs, so it costs a lot of money to be a public company.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of money on audit fees. So that hurt me at Chewy, that hurts me at GameStop. They charge us a lot of money. So if it ultimately means we spend less money on being a public company, and it makes us more efficient, then that's fantastic.
So I want to give out a disclaimer right now for the messages that I got, and they said, "Hey, Marantz, that means Ryan wants to go private." That's not what he said. Okay, what he said was it cost him a lot of money even at Chewy, because even when you're a private company, you're still paying auditors. There's still valuation that you have to have. There's due diligence, and there's a fiduciary duty to any investor, whether it's public or private. So no, going private versus public is not any different as far as saving money. For him to say, I wish it would be, biannually, he's just agreeing with whatever the administration wants to do, that it would probably save money. And it probably would, but it wouldn't matter. You can't make the money you're about to make if you're a private company. GameStop's money is in the public eye right now. If you're going to go private, then everyone wants to get paid, right? And what do you think would happen? A full-on rebellion of the stock would happen. People would sell it all off, and it would be worthless if you were going to do that. So bondholders would be up in arms. There's plenty of people that will tell you why that will never happen. And I can use the word never because it would take this is something that's priceless, guys. This company, this leadership, and this brand is priceless. It is so far up there. Let me tell you something. If I walked up to somebody today and I go, "Hey, what's NVIDIA?" They have no clue. They don't know. Nobody does. You know because you live here, because you live on the internet. No. What's super microcomputers? I don't know. It's a computer for midgets? What, little people? Whatever. You don't know what these companies are. Guys don't have a clue. Some people don't have a clue. But if you say, what's GameStop? Sure, that's where I get Pokemon cards. GameStop, the gaming store? Oh, man. It's survived. It's been around since 1984. This is a massive thing. So I'm excited for GameStop for a lot of reasons. If you're not taking care of your customer, your competitor will. Power to the players, Team 51. I spent my cash money at GameStop. There you go. You know what you got to do? Because I can. You have to respect your competition. And you have to celebrate your competition in business. Because if you don't have them, then nobody knows just how good you could be and or you are. I've always said that. When somebody tells me, I do this, I already have one. I already use someone else. Okay. Congratulations. Right? You congratulate them and you tell them these very few choice words. Let's say you want to, I'm going to give you this example, okay, guys? Go through, and I could use because my grandfather taught me this. It's about a lawn. My grandfather ran a gardening company, and he cuts the grass. And he goes up and he's cutting the grass and he sees the neighbor outside. It's his opportunity. He says, "Hi, howdy, yes." Doesn't say it like that. He's Spanish and English. "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" And then he says, "Hey, would you like me to cut your grass?" And that homeowner says, "No, it's okay. I already have a gardener." You know what you say to that? What my grandfather would say. He says, "That's so good. Congratulations." Because it proves one thing to me, that you care about your home and you care about the appearance of your home. So let me ask you, since you have a gardener, tell me what you like about them. Well, I like that they also cut the trees. I like that they also seed every year. I like that they do this, or I like they come twice a month. You get all your information you need about your competition by admiring them. And then, of course, my grandfather comes back and says, "Look at me, they don't even they don't even do this, they don't do that, they don't do the flower beds." Okay, boom. And he walks over and he says, "Okay, here's what I'll do. I'm going to give you this price, and I'm going to tell you not to tell the neighbor because I charge him more, but I'm going to give you a great price. And I'm going to do more than what that gardener does. And I'm going to do this, this, and that. So if you fire him today, I'm all yours." And that's how business works, guys. You get the information you need, and you provide a service that no one else can. But acknowledge that competition. Shout out to Grandpa Rico. Hardcore bro.
I didn't mention it, but thank you for Chewy. I've been a subscriber for probably a decade. It's been the backbone of my household, and my dogs thank you as well. I'm interested to hear your take on kind of evolution of e-commerce. There's a lot of chatter about agentic commerce and people buying through products through their chat apps. Have you looked into that? Do you have a current framework for thinking about the adoption rates of people buying stuff through an LLM?
Amazon started selling pet products in the late 90s, and they were doing okay. Chewy comes along. We originally wanted to start off selling jewelry. We actually bought hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry. I went to a trade show and I bought hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry. We set up the website and everything. And then I was shopping in a neighborhood pet store, and I had at the time, like a 5 or 6 pound teacup poodle. And I kept on going to this neighborhood pet store every few weeks. And I run into the office. By the way, I don't wear jewelry. So I was not passionate about the category. I didn't know anything.
That's important.
But I went to this trade show. You were just kind of, you was picking like, this seems like a good high margin business. And it's light. You can ship.
Yeah, it was a little too mercenary. Like you got to get into build something that you want so you can give yourself feedback. Yeah,
but you think like, your intuition is like there's margins in jewelry, and so like you can make money. There was Blue Nile at the time that had really high gross margins, and I was like, we can.
That's a little homework for you guys. Blue Nile. We know who worked at Blue Nile. If you guys are not familiar, it's Mark Vadin. They pronounce it Mark Vadan, as I was told, and he ended up becoming the CEO of Chewy.com. He's also a mentor to Ryan. And this is why Ryan manages the way he does. He's a CEO the way he is. And I don't know how I found that interview, but I did, 2014. I'm so thankful because I learned a lot. But anyway, that's a shout out to the old school watchers of this show. Ryan is talking about that right now.
Can do well in online jewelry. Anyway, I went to this jewelry trade show. I bought hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry. And then I was shopping kind of at the same time every few weeks at this neighborhood pet store for my poodle. And I was way more interested in the pet category than I was in jewelry. I understood the customer. And so I ended up selling the jewelry. I ended up getting like 80 or 90 cents on the dollar. And I went into the pet category, and I liked that. I understood it. I liked the predictability of the industry. I like the fact that, like, once you're a pet owner, you're buying pet food pretty much for the rest of your life. And we shifted. And so Chewy comes along. It's 2011, and I took the playbook from Amazon. So the focus on fast shipping, having great selection, being able to get onto the website, add an item to the cart, and check out. Our average checkout time was like less than 2 minutes.
Wow.
So, you think about like GoDaddy, and I don't know if you've ever bought a domain name, but you go through the checkout process. They're trying to upsell you on like a gazillion stuff.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Chewy is like average checkout time less than 2 minutes. We're not trying to upsell you. It's like, we're going to get you your pet food as fast as possible at the best price. So Chewy comes along in 2011 and completely disrupts the industry.
Yeah.
And we disrupted the independents. We disrupted Petco and PetSmart. And we were delivering your consumables at a better price, faster, with an easier experience, backed up by great customer experience. And so you don't necessarily have to be first to the game in order to be successful. Amazon was first to the game, but we focused on the category and we were successful. And so it's kind of what's interesting in technology in general is like you have these technology companies that are trying to do everything, right? Amazon's trying to do streaming. They're trying to do e-commerce. They're trying to do everything. And then all of a sudden you have Netflix that is really successful in streaming. You have Chewy that's really successful in pet food.
Yeah.
So if you focus on a category, you can be very successful.
Pay attention, okay? So when he says you focus on a category, you can be very successful. Let me tell you the category. Collectibles, PSA graded cards, Powerpacks, partnership with PSA. That is all an extension to collectibles, which we have a massive increase this year, over a 60% increase. I believe he said we did 1/3 already. We sold everything from last year versus 1/3. I forget what he said earlier. I'll have to get the quote, but it doesn't matter. The point is we're killing it. And if you can maximize, he found it. Within this world of gamers and collectors, PSA graded cards and Powerpacks and Pokemon is the unicorn item out of this retail store. So maximize on it. Go on it. You have to lean into it. You have to lean into something that you are. This is what Amazon did. Yes, I know they were books. Then they lean into everything. And he says when they drop the ball, when they start looking at everything, that's when people creep in and that's when people take categories. Well, guess what? People are not ready for GameStop and what their partnership is with PSA and what Powerpacks is. Powerpacks is unbeatable, guys. If I go to the website right now on Powerpacks, just so we're clear, this is GameStop's website. Yesterday morning, I saw 7,000 something cards online. Then I did a video last night, late night, and it was down to 1,500. Do you see the number right now? 639 cards online. You're telling me you sold 7,000 in a day? It's not about selling the 7,000. That's not what we're doing. People have to know what GameStop's doing. They are taking their own product and reselling it. They're selling it to themselves essentially because what they're doing is they're taking it and they're putting it into a power pack. And the power pack, just so you know, and I bought one for AJ. If you guys didn't see his birthday party on the beach, which that video's gone now because they blocked and banned my damn TikTok forever. And I was like, oh, it's up, but I don't know. I'll have to find clips of it, but whatever, it's fine. But life isn't over. I love little AJ's awesome dude. But here's the thing. You have these packs, and it could be a random card, right? Any random PSA graded card could be in the pack, and it comes with 2 packs with it. So those packs are selling, and they're getting any PSA grade. Imagine if that was in your power pack. Imagine if that was in your power pack. You would be buying everything known to man. And that's what they're doing. This is one of my favorites right now. This is the GameStop exclusive card. So you see where it says GameStop right here where my finger is? Boom, that's amazing. So that's the Zapdos GameStop exclusive. Oh my god. A couple $100, guys. So anyway, GameStop is focusing on PSA graded cards. I want everyone to understand that. I want them to understand what Ryan's telling you. When he's talking right now, he's saying, hey, there are these opportunities out here on this market that, man, I got to get out to the street, bro. I got so many Pokemon cards to give away. I'm just going to start giving away handfuls of shit to kids. I got to. Okay, and back to you. Back to you, Ryan. So that's what's going on with Pokemon, and that's what's going on PSA graded cards.
How did you process the D2C e-commerce era? It was like really hot in Silicon Valley. Every MBA was raising venture capital, slap a $250,000 brand on a white labeled product and raise some money. And then it kind of fizzled out. But like, how were you processing that at the time? What's your postmortem? Like, how should people think about building brands going forward? Is there
Before we do all that, yes, Anthony, I think that they took all the inventory, and I don't think they're doing it for Christmas. I think you're thinking too far. There is Black Friday, okay? So Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all the above. They know that they have a demand. You got to remember what's more important, just so that we're clear to everyone. Filling up the coffers for Powerpacks, right? Running through it that way, that means a lot. It does. They've gatekept it. They've gatekept it to so many people. But I will tell you that the physical power packs are just as demanding. People wait in line and they want power packs. So that will generate more revenue and not deplete the coffer. All right. So there's this equilibrium, this balancing act of physical in person versus the digital experience. And Ryan's going to talk about it. But so for anyone out there that's not paying attention, I already showed you my my position, so that doesn't matter. We go to Powerpacks right now. Give you this example. Let's just go to Powerpacks. I'm just going to keep this all on one. I don't even care. So here's Powerpacks. I have a collection. I know the new update to it. I got the offers. The offers are not very good. They're very terrible. As of right now, the offers are not where I want them to be. Just so that we're clear, this card right here is a $25 card, and the offer is $19. I'm good with that. If I needed it, I could take it, and I'm okay. I could sell it. I'm just not going to sell it just because I'm going to hang on to the card. I just don't care. I don't care to sell. It's a PSA 9. I don't even have to keep it. It's not anything big. This is a PSA 9 that has gone so far down in value. It's a $50 card that I paid, and it's worth $16.63. That's the offer. So the market's down on an EV surprise box exclusive, but you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to hang on to it. The market will rebound. It'll get back up. It's a PSA 9. I'm not worried about it, but I'm not selling it for $16, and it's dropping in value. And some people, they'll get mad about that. I don't take it personal. Here's another card for $50 that I bought, $28.32, same flat price, PSA 7. It's not there. I'm just going to hang on to it. It's a 2019 card. It's 6 years old, 7 years old. The main one is this one here. Same thing on a tag team. You know, I keep it because I like Umbreon. He's my favorite little dude. And it's PSA 10. It's a mint. Perfect. 2019. Good. But guess what? $319. Okay. So I'm waiting to get more than $319 for that card. But when you go to Powerpacks, this is what we were talking about. And he's going to talk about it in detail. And we'll go. And I'll open up some so you guys can see what we're talking about. Once Ryan does it, but we'll go from there. Sold half of my warrants and bought 21 shares more free. Good job. There you go. Good morning. Good evening. Ryan said their revenue will consist of 30% collectibles. It'll be the cards. Yeah. Happy birthday. Okay. Then that's what it was said. Good job. Yeah, I'm excited about it either way, but let's keep going.
There's still opportunity.
For us, building brand was acquiring one customer at a time and making sure that they got their pet food or whatever the hell they ordered from us, best price, really quickly. That's how you build a brand. It's not spending a bunch of money on, pets.com, a Super Bowl commercial. It is focusing on the best marketing is word of mouth.
Yeah.
So you allow a customer through word of mouth, you have a great customer experience, you deliver the product really quickly at a great price, and you have a happy customer. And that was the way to build Chewy, was getting big market leadership and making sure that customers were really happy.
What are the three like key lessons from Chewy that you feel like you and the GameStop team are applying today?
Running efficiently. There's no question that like we ran a focus on
Costs.
Chewy was, they're so different. Thing is you think like e-commerce and physical retail are the same, and that's where I made a lot of mistakes, because I showed up like a wise guy at GameStop. I thought I had all the answers, but e-commerce and physical retail are very, very different.
Yeah.
So in general, within physical retail, what I've learned is like you have to run lean, and you're better off having less inventory than more inventory. So
this is something that I told you guys about the individuals that were complaining in the Discord about the inventory issue. And it's a lot different because you're trying to find your center. You run a bakery, what I say, you run out of pumpkin pies, you run out of apple pies, you run out of pecan pies. Halfway in the day, you didn't make enough. So you didn't maximize how much you could get. But the luxuries that you have about making all of these pies is that you could donate them, right? And so the losses can be made up in other categories. It's really hard for a baker to come out and make excess pies and find out how much he can do when that's the only product he sells. Okay? So you can't compare a Costco bakery to a regular bakery. It's a little different. As long as you know that, you're okay. What's my loss leader? What's getting people into the door? Well, now let's fast forward and let's think about GameStop. GameStop has these Pokemon cards that everybody wants. And they have found subtle ways to increase the ownership of these cards to get more shoppers to their store. So what they do, limit is 2 per member, 2 per membership. You got to buy a membership. We're only doing it on Saturdays. So now you know whatever inventory you buy, and you're keeping track of the sales per district. Okay, this store can handle this many, this store can handle this many. What can we sell at? We don't want to keep it for longer than 24 hours. We want to sell it out, sell it off. Now, with that being said, now you can annualize on a number. You guys want more? You'll get more next year. You want more? You'll get more next release. Because the way it works, you have a fixed cost to run this company. We're shrinking. We cut off everything. Now, instead of going all out and buying excess, keep it light. Keep it light and know where you're at. Next year, we have another shot at it. The following year, the following launch, the following release, the following, all of that. That's what GameStop gets to do, because it's very hard to manage the swings of the people. If I close down 5 GameStops, am I going to have as many? I mean, we're closing and adjusting all at the same time. It's a very hard dance to do, but that's physical. And if you ever want to know about sales and marketing and physical inventories of retail, you got to remember one thing, okay? If I'm selling and I'm doing stuff e-commerce wise, they have so many indicators. There's so many telltale signs about foot traffic. There's these benchmarks you get to use. You get to use click-through ratios. You get to use impressions. There's analytics involved. Hey, it's a whole different world when it's belly to belly. When you're belly to belly sales, okay, just so that means retail, physical retail. Okay, physical retail sales, belly to belly. I got to give you the product and you take it. There's logistics involved. And that being said, you might even have all the hidden shrink in the world. So let's see what we can handle. If we had a shelf flooded with Pokemon cards, could you imagine what the increase would be on shrink? They're managing the lines right now. They're managing the inflow just for an hour. That's it. I'm okay with it all. I really am. I like that they did their hiring later this year. It's as if they're not going to hire until November. They did the interviews right now this week on the 18th or the 19th, whatever it was. They said go in there on Monday, the 19th. Maybe it was last week too. But they started doing interviews. That means they won't have hiring until a date of November. I'm happy about that. That means there's only 2 months of increase, or they're saving it for quarter 4, not quarter 3. There's a lot of good things going on at GameStop if you pay attention. Shit, 20 years is perfect. GameStop too strong. Yeah, hi Ryder. Tell me about it, bro. I'm gonna be there. We'll do the results of the polls when we're done with the show.
I cost shareholders a lot of money by taking the Chewy playbook at GameStop. And then I learned physical retail, which was a muscle that I had zero memory. And it was on making sure that when you get the product, you sell it very, very quickly. Because if you don't, the product depreciates very quickly. Whereas with Chewy, if I overbought and sold the product very quickly, it didn't matter. So,
do you know where that does matter the same? PSA graded cards. When they're sports cards, you got to get rid of them. You got to ship them out, get rid of them fast. Because sports cards fluctuate based off of how the performance of the player is. If the player's not a Hall of Famer, player's not a superstar, they're only good for that season. You got to get rid of them now. Pokemon cards, well, they're collectibles. There's a big difference. So once you find out the nuance of each category, then you know what to go ahead and where to apply the pressure, basically. So that's what GameStop's doing right now.
Yeah.
They're not the same.
Yeah,
they're not the same. The reason why, in general, both concepts have worked out is...
So your question right there, Anthony, is which product channel has a bigger margin between Powerpack Physical versus Powerpacks Digital? It's absolutely Powerpacks Digital. Okay? Powerpacks Digital has a unique way of you not having to ship the item. And if you do, they charge you for it, for final delivery. Final delivery is the onus of the company in physical retail, the logistics of it. So remember, packaging costs you money, but the delivery, that's why we say final delivery. We use that phrasing. It's so hard to go, well, how much is that landed? And you go, yeah, well, landed, it's this much, right? In retail, physical retail. There's always like a little premium you got to pay for physical versus digital. This is why we've always had this argument. Why is a digital download online cost me the same as a physical disc in the store? Why are they the same price? The expense to the consumer and the expense to the company is totally different, believe it or not. So absolutely digital would be less. There's so many reasons why. How many employees do you have to employ to get you a digital power pack and keep them there? Do I got to pay them, I guess, benefits? Do I got to pay some space to go ahead and get it to you? There's so many reasons why. Hell, the paper I print out the receipt is going to be costing more versus the digital experience. So it's absolutely physical every single time. If the world could operate off of digital, they would. That's everyone. Also, less labor costs and the ease of selling back encourages more money. Sure, that's exactly what we're talking about. Ryan Cohen should buy the Owens Cards company that manufactures Pokemon. I believe Pokemon has a partnership with Nintendo. Tell me if I'm wrong. Somebody let me know. I thought it was Nintendo is the partnership. Am I wrong? Somebody let me know. I'm around.
Because you keep on. I have my own money on the line, so I'm not going to stop until I figure it out. And
you're him,
but it costs a lot of money to figure it out.
Skin in the game. The man's in the arena.
Literally says Nintendo on every card. I'm just saying.
People have said you're
Amen.
Yeah.
People have said you're too bold as a CEO. Do you think the traditional concept of a
I think it's bullshit for them to come out and say he's too bold for a CEO. He's the complete opposite. He's not bold. He's not boastful either. He's just working the work, Like I told you guys, make the plan, work the plan. That's all he's doing. So the bold shit, and these guys are just too. If you could have a picture of Brad and Chad, these are them. They dress this way to be on a live stream so that people would figure out and be like, these guys know a lot about investing. Look at the way they're dressed. They're dressed like New York. So, Ryan probably has on, a Morant's Rants t-shirt right now.
Buttoned up CEO that maybe shies away from controversy is obsolete or should be forgotten.
I don't even know what a CEO means. At the end of the day, I want whoever's in charge. If it ends up successful, they end up doing really well. And if it ends up not being successful, they lose a lot of money. And call me the janitor for all I care.
You know what they call me, Ryan? They've called me the janitor for a lot of years. I thank you for that. You are the janitor. You're the cleanup man. And I'll be the janitor with you, Ryan. I appreciate that. There's a shout out to the Team 51, guys. I'll take that one.
At the end of the day, their incentives should be aligned with common shareholders. So that's the most important thing, is that the incentives are generally aligned.
Yeah, you're the loudest shareholder.
Yeah.
How do you decide? How do you decide what battles to fight? Because you got a lot of stuff coming your way at any given point, a lot of opportunity. What's your framework?
My framework is what's going to move the needle. Mm-hmm. Like if we can make 80% margins, but the upside is limited and it's not going to move the needle, then I don't care. If it's able to translate into billions of dollars of shareholder value and it's scalable, then we're talking. So there's a lot of things that are like small time, and yeah, we can make a lot of margin, but there's not a lot of upside in terms of shareholders, then who cares?
I love that. Can I listen to that again? Hold on. I gotta hear it again.
They lose a lot of money. And call me the janitor for all I care.
Okay,
At the end of the day,
Go.
their incentives should be aligned with common shareholders. So that's the most important thing, is that the incentives are generally aligned.
Yeah, you're the loudest shareholder.
Yeah.
How do you decide? How do you decide what battles to fight? Because you got a lot of stuff coming your way at any given point, a lot of opportunity. What's your framework?
My framework is what's going to move the needle. Mm-hmm. Like if we can make 80% margins, but the upside is limited and it's not going to move the needle, then I don't care. If it's able to translate into billions of dollars of shareholder value and it's scalable, then we're talking. So there's a lot of things that are like small time, and yeah, we can make a lot of margin, but there's not a lot of upside in terms of shareholders, then who cares? But if it translates into something meaningful and scalable, then I'm interested.
Do you think Powerpacks could be that?
What do you think?
Well, the chat is going crazy.
It seems like
they want to know. They want the update from your side.
Powerpacks is interesting.
Hold on. I love this part, guys. I'm sorry. I'm giddy. I'm pumped because whenever Ryan says something is interesting, you can tell. You can tell the difference, bro. The janitor reference was for you, Rance. Thank you. I'll be the janitor. So but this is awesome, Ryan. Listen, Powerpacks is interesting. First off, let's just put this out there. What he said. Ryan said, I could sell anything for margin. You could. You could sell anything. It probably wouldn't be your identity, and it probably wouldn't be, long lasting. Just because you got a great deal on something, boom, let's sell this. No. What he said was this. He wants something that's scalable right? And that it's going to move billions of dollars. Well, I'm sorry to tell you all, but the $1 billion engine that could is Powerpacks. And there might not be enough inventory yet, but I promise you, we are at the beginning stages of something that they can't sustain. And then once we remember how you become a billionaire. Remember how you become a trillionaire. You fix a problem. You fix a problem. The problem was for years, guys, years. The problem was we can't grade our cards fast enough. Give you value, get your cards graded. We're buying them, but we're not getting them graded. Now, remember I talked about this? We talked about marketing, sales, administrative, production. In this case, PSA has a bottleneck issue. They did not max out their production. They didn't max it out to take in all of these sales. Okay? We're not even marketing. We haven't even advertised. GameStop is ahead of everybody. GameStop made a website. GameStop, remember, they weren't the first to do it, but they perfected it. And they did it right. They had the right partnerships, the right synergies. Now this is scalable. Internet is scalable because I'll tell you why it's scalable. Okay, for all you guys out there, I'll tell you why. Here's my phone. By the way, this is my phone. Okay, damn. I was hoping it was going to show a picture of my wife because she's smoking hot. Anyway, so this is my phone, and it has all my tasks on there, all the tasks throughout my day that I have to do. Don't worry about it, and so I get to see it, but. This bad boy right here is the internet, and everybody has one. So you're all able to shop 24/7. I don't have to wait for the store to open. I don't need a vehicle or a bus to catch to go ahead and get to the store, wait in line 3 hours. It's so archaic, isn't it? It's like, oh my God, you got to wait hours just to get a power pack just to sell $60 when all I have to do is just go like this to the website. I go right here. I go, okay, let me get a gold pack. Let me go ahead. Let me see. How long does this take, guys? You guys tell me. Let's go. We're going. Yeah, we're there. Okay, it's for AJ. AJ will watch. Here we go. All right, AJ, wish me luck. Let's go. There it is. Got a power pack. Oh, phenomenal. PSA 10 CS Mask, $124 value. What a tremendous card to have. Then guess what you do? Because you know the company's short on inventory, you sell it back to them. Accept the buyback. Here you go. Take the inventory away from me. Buy another one. Here we go. Do it again. Power pack. Oh, I'm going to buy another one, GameStop. Who cares? Here we go. Let's go. Let's see. Here we go. Hey, I waited in line for how long here? 1 minute. 1 minute. Boom. There's the Lados tag team, the one I've always wanted. It's a PSA 9, but I've always wanted this card. So guess what I do? Do I keep it, get the card ladder value at 133? It's going up in value. Oh my God. Yeah, I want this card, guys. I want this card. I don't want this. I want this card. I want this card. I do want it. But I give GameStop back their money. Here you go, GameStop. Don't worry about it. Oh, yeah. There it is. Hey, guys, that was a hard decision. I really like that one. But look at this. 3 of them. 3 cards in 1 minute. 3 in 1 minute. Has this not dawned on anybody how amazing this is? Let's see. Who knows what I get? I don't know. I should have kept the last one. Me personally. Bam. Jolteon Nut. This is trash. I already know. $81. Okay, it happens. Got to sell it. Got to take the money that they're going to give me. There it is. You know it. You know how this goes. Buy another one. There's 4 of them. 4 of them, guys, in 1 minute, 2 minutes. Gold packs. 4. This is a different machine. Money's all around. Money's all around. Cleffy 10. Isn't that the one everybody wants? I don't know. There it is. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to sit on this one. View card and collect, because you know why I'm going to sit on this one? Because they told me that I have up to 7 days to sell it back. So hold for now. And I do. And Powerpacks, look at this. It's new right here. Review offer. Powerpacks is offering me $48.90. They will buy it back from me. I will hang on to this till that says a little more. That's it. I got 7 days. Good. This is good exercise. That was 4 pulls, guys, in the span of nothing. Do you understand now how great this thing is? I love his temperament. I love when he talks about it. Pay attention. This is amazing.
If it translates into something meaningful and scalable, then I'm interested.
Do you think Powerpacks could be that?
What do you think?
Well, the chat is going crazy.
It seems like
they want to know. They want the update from your side.
Powerpacks is interesting.
Oh, I love that.
Powerpacks, physical and digital, is very interesting. We can't get enough inventory, so
That's always a good sign.
I don't want to say anything because users can.
Do you see it as the
Customers can
same,
figure out for themselves.
Yeah, do you see it as the same sort of like it's more consumption focused, so it fits within the Chewy model, or is that the right way to?
Shut up, bro. These guys have no idea what Powerpacks are. Hey, by the way, he said we can't get enough inventory. That is a great problem to have. This is scary good. Think about it. 7,000 cards online, and we sold them all. And then hey guys, and they sell 7 times over, 10 times over. It's a money glitch. It's a 24-hour money glitch. And do you know why they don't have enough inventory? I'm going to explain it to you guys. Not only are we crazy, right? Us collectors. We keep the damn cards. We keep them. Now I'm in the business of giving it back to Gabe. I don't give a shit. You know me. But I actually watched them a little while and just wanted to see what Marantz has been talking about. Marantz, I totally get it. Oh, yeah. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Okay, cool. Is that for Rocco? What did Rocco say? Let me see what they say. Okay. It says, oh my God, the only place I can find Ryan's interview on Tony De Niro. First and last time. That dude's an idiot. Ryan's integrity is unmistakable. I'm totally comfortable with waiting 5, 10, 20 years. I'm in. Yeah, if you guys were watching it with that knucklehead, I don't. I wouldn't care. Let me make a promise to you guys. You never have to. Just wait. Just wait for me to bring out a video at night and we'll talk. And and you'll feel the vibes. You'll feel the good stuff. But I can't swim with the rats. And that's who those guys are. All of them. Every single person out there that claims to be pro GameStop now. I'm never gonna forget. I'm never gonna give them a pass. Okay. I got Battlefield 6 and a physical power pack today. I'm a happy customer. How'd you get a physical power pack, Egan? They had them, bro. God, I went to 3 of them. They didn't have nothing. Marantz is mopping the floor with these fake GME YouTubers. Well, thank you. Thank you. Oh, nice. Damn, he missed it. It's okay. He's brushing his teeth. That's good. He's got enough coming. And I like it that he's getting his new teeth in. Yeah, you can't do it. You can't do it. Marantz has been talking about just to see. Yeah. But what did you say? I actually watched him a little while just to see what Marantz has been talking about. Marantz, I totally get it. Well, thank you. Yeah, there we go. It's going to be worldwide. This will not be worldwide, Rocco. We can't manage it. Okay, so listen, this is what I was going into. Okay, I want to. Oh, the Santa Anita Mall. They have one more left. You bastard, bro. Oh, I'm gonna drive all the way out there, bro. No. So let me get very clear about what Ryan was saying right there. Ryan said, Powerpacks, pretty interesting, very interesting. Yeah, we can't get enough inventory. This is all great. Okay, this is PSA's problem. PSA needs to grade more cards. PSA doesn't have the production for what's in front of them. Once they grade more cards, give it another year, give it another 2 years, this is going to be massive. Because as those cards keep continuing to get graded, remember, people grade dumbass shit. It's fine. And they sell it back to GameStop. Well, all those power packs, all those physical power packs people are collecting, great, collect them, save them. But digitally, to get all these cards into the vault, there's not enough cards. There's not enough inventory. So you've been grading cards, PSA, for like 25 years. You ain't grading enough. You're not grading fast enough. You're not grading hard enough. Because once GameStop influxed, what did Nat Turner say? Nat Turner said, I'll touch anything Ryan's touching. Pause. We love this, guys. We love these issues. Pay attention.
Think about this as opposed to, you're there's less risk of getting stuck with a bunch of inventory.
Are we talking physical or digital?
Physical, I would imagine, would be like the place where there's inventory risk in some regard. But if you view it as more of a consumption product, then like the Chewy story, there's presumably less risk in holding a bunch of inventory.
I like the trading card space.
Okay.
So we have, GameStop has a lot of assets. We have the community and the brand that allows us to, if you look at digital Powerpacks, we've kept it pretty limited in terms of being able to get into the digital category. And frankly, it's not a marketing thing. We can't get enough inventory. And it's the same thing on the physical thing, but digital is more scalable. So if we had a choice between physical and digital, because digital is more scalable, we're going to go towards digital. Can't get enough inventory, at least at a price where we can. I mean, you can buy inventory at 110 or 120% market value, but we're not gonna start doing stupid stuff like that.
How do you see the collectibles landscape evolving over the next 5 years? It feels like different players have picked a focus, whether that's live, traditional auctions, something like you just discussed as well. But like, what is the shape of the market going forward in your view?
Before he answers this, I want to explain to you, if you're ever going to be an interviewer, okay, this idiot over here, you got to know what you're talking about. Like, you can tell that he has no clue as to what he's saying about collectibles, and even know like one inkling of the industry. And that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate when you don't know the hobby, but Ryan knows it and Ryan understands it. And I just love him saying, I can't get enough inventory. That's so good, guys. Oh, it's so good. I know some people would tell you, that's not good, Marantz. Now you don't know. Because you don't understand. They built something brand new. And there's a want. There's a necessity. There's a demand for more. And it's not even marketed. Remember, marketing, sales, admin, production. We're somewhere in the realm of sales, admin, and production. We're over here somewhere. And we got an extreme bottleneck issue, or the lack thereof, because there's people at the gates. There's emails waiting. Can I get in? Knock, knock, knock. Canada is here. Everybody wants to buy a damn PSA graded card, and they want to store it in the vault. Oh, baby. This is a great problem to have, guys. Give PSA more time to grade these cards. I have cards out to PSA right now. They're still being researched and ID. They're not getting graded. And then I've had it over there for 2 months. I don't care. I'm not mad. Oh, my God, you're taking so long. No, I know why. Because we're crazy.
They're all connected. Like, if you look at the overall collectible space, it's looked at as a store of value. And it's been that way for decades. If you look at trading cards, it's like nostalgic too. I grew up, I collected trading cards a little bit, but there's definitely a comeback right now on trading cards. So it's looked at as a store of value. Whether that continues or not, who knows? I mean, everyone is like, well, it's going to continue. Everyone thinks crypto is going to continue. Nobody knows.
Yep.
So let me explain what he's saying, okay, guys? A store of value. It's what I've been saying to you about PSA graded cards. Once you get a card graded, it's protected It goes up in value, and over time they appreciate. So if you're thinking about what he said about Chewy, what he said was, I could buy as much cat food as I wanted. If I overbought, it was okay because I would eventually end up selling it. You eventually end up selling them. You can't do that in sports grading cards because sports cards fluctuate to the season, to the draft, to injuries, to production, to how well do you produce the stats on the field? Do you win or lose? So that's the problem with sports cards. Pokemon's not that way. Pokemon is, hey, there's a finite amount. They're out of print. There's only this much. Here's what we have. Here's what's graded. And then the fact that PSA can keep tabs. How many have we graded at this level, at this chart? So now you know the rarity of the card. You know the value of the card. You're using Card Ladder. You're using eBay. You're using PSA. There's all these things, these indicators to show you value. And as long as they hold the value, then you can buy as many cards as you want. That doesn't matter. You can buy all the cards in the world and they're not depreciating. That's what he's saying. This inventory holds value. That's huge, guys, because I will sell it when I need to. Do you know what's the thing about video games? So you buy a video game. It's brand new. It's $70, $69.99. You could sell it. And guess what? The person takes it home. They play it. They bring it back to you. Trade it in. You buy it back from them. And you sell it again. And then they play it. They bring it back. And then guess what? You sell it. You buy it back from them a little less, and you sell it again. Yeah, that works in the world of video games. But you know what happens in the world of video games? Black Ops 5 turns into Black Ops 6. You have a 1-year shelf life. Doesn't increase in value. And a lot of these games become obsolete. Like, nah, don't need that one anymore. Don't need, the collectible games, which were Gen, 3, 4, and 5, just so generation of consoles, just so you know. The Super Nintendo, the 64, those games have value. The cartridges have value. PlayStation 1 doesn't have value. No one gives a damn. You can give me a bucket of PlayStation 1 games. Oh, yeah, nah, man. They load slow. They're terrible. I don't need it. There's certain systems you want to buy games from. Okay? Gaming is a whole different category, different body. So is collectibles. Collectibles is the same way. So pay attention to what Ryan's saying right now about your inventory and how you manage it. This is all educational if you ever want to run a business, my peoples.
Definitely a comeback right now on trading cards. So it's looked at as a store of value. Whether that continues or not, who knows? I mean, everyone is like, well, it's going to continue. Everyone thinks crypto is going to continue. Nobody knows.
Yep.
But we're having a lot of success when you look at our assets right now. Like the way it stands right now is we're selling the product very quickly. We can't get, the more inventory we have, we could sell the product. So we're going to run efficiently, and if we can sell the product, great. And if it happens where we can't sell the product, then we're going to adjust. And, we're going to lower our costs and going to focus on the things that make sense.
Do you have a take on Labubu? I feel like if I find out about it, I'm ultra late, and I might have top ticked it when I finally learned about that. But it seems like it's somewhat important to the collectible boom, the story there. Do you have any idea what's going on?
Do we sell Labubu right now? I don't think we sell Labubu.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, it's like kind of an odd strategy. It has some of the unboxing characteristics, very popular. It seemed like it just kind of emerged out of China, out of nowhere. I was wondering if you had tracked the market at all.
No. Should we sell it?
I don't know. It might be too late. I have no idea.
They're very demonic in our view.
We think they kind of just don't have the right vibe, and I feel like there's plenty of other collectibles that would be more on brand, personally.
How do you...
What was that?
Is it females or males?
I think
it's all sorts of people buying them.
I saw Tim Cook had one, so I don't know if that tells you.
Okay.
How are you thinking?
So that's Ryan trolling them. Okay. It's Pop Mart. And if you know, Charles Payne said the same thing. He tried to throw it out there. Why don't you guys do this? And it's sure. Some people want them. This was so last year. If they still want them, who cares? Maybe Ryan doesn't care about Beanie Babies. Okay. I remember infomercials, buy all these Beanie Babies. Now people are sitting there with stuffed animals with rice in them. All right? I'm letting you know we're in a different world. Different partnership. Revenues are different over here. But that's part of the things what he's talking about. You could sell anything for a markup. You could sell it. Is it scalable? Is the demand scale? Like, think about the internet and that user experience. Like you guys are saying, the UI itself of Powerpacks. Think about it. It is beyond anything you can imagine.
Thinking about how do you think about M&A on in the collectible space? I'm sure people come to you all the time with sort of platforms that maybe have some scale, but not quite the scale that you have that would love to sell to you. But obviously, companies are bought, not sold. So I'm curious if it's something that you would explore in the future.
They don't come to us as often as you think, because they know, they probably go to private equity or venture capital or these fancy hedge funds before they come to us, because I want to make sure that I care about cash flow and the price that I pay. So we don't, we see some deals, but it's hard to compete against guys that are, or girls, whatever, that are getting management fees.
You see that? Private equity is going to get the deal before him because he's not going to overpay for it. Guys, this is real business. If you understand the private equity playbook, the connect the dots playbook, part of the book that we wrote for this channel, and I'll never take full credit. I'll always give my credit to Trove for participating. And I'm still going through it, Trove. I'm still trying to get the dedication page done. I've just been so busy. I will find time this month. If not this month, the opening week of November, because I promised everybody they'd get a copy. And the book's almost done, guys. It's Connect the Dots, Morant's Rants. It's a book of the transcripts and the videos. It's a well-written thing that we did. And thank you to Trove for helping. But I will tell you that Ryan just told you private equity overpays for things, and it's all because they're getting 2 and 20. He's not going to overpay for things. So when people come up to you and there's no deal to be done, that's okay. If you listened to him earlier when they were talking about return on the assets itself or the equity deployed, he says, hey, I'm not buying into this market, not until it corrects. And the guy goes, you waiting for a crash? He goes, well, you can call it whatever you want. I'm just waiting for value, right down the middle, right? A pitch down the middle. So I am going to be so blessed that GameStop has all these unique items and revenue streams, which is awesome for an investment side. But from more of a venture capitalist front, we're probably not the most ideal place. But I will remind you what I told all of you. When markets are down, and there's a crash upon you and everyone's looking, as they all claim they are, to buy when there's panic in the streets, well, people don't have money to buy. People can't borrow money to buy. And everyone's looking to make a deal. They're all looking for a handout because the person with the cash has the power. The person that actually can say, you know what, I will buy that. And I'll buy it for the price I want to pay. They're the ones in charge. Even if you had cash, you're not going to loan it out. And why aren't you going to loan it out? These markets don't look right. I have investors that want their money back. They're stressed. They want their money. Remember, private equity takes a bath every time we go through one of these recessions. Because you go, we all need our monies back. This is how it works. The money on the sidelines is not private equities. It's Warren Buffett. It's Ryan Cohen. These guys have cash on their side. And private equity is going to have to try to return some money. They're going to have to try to give some of it back, and they're going to be sitting there with their hands in their pockets, not being able to move like you think they can move or like they think they can move. And that's what Ryan's telling you when he says, these guys and girls, they're taking their fees because people are willing to overpay for things so they can get better and bigger fees. And then the next private equity firm walks in and buys it for more. and more, and the next one for more, and the next one for more, and it never stops. It never stops. In the 40 years that I've been following private equity, not that I've been following private equity for 40 years, but I've read up on the history of the last 40 years, and that's the track record that I've found, that everyone's willing to buy something for a little more until it's extinct and carved out totally. Then they move on to the next carcass. It's unbelievable that it's allowed, but I think Ryan is combating it the best way he can. And I love that he said that no one comes to him. They're not coming to us. Okay, well then they don't go to him, or they seldom do. Well, just know people will be a knocking. Yes, because they know who has the cash. Just if you're still an investor in GameStop at that time, you'll just be like, damn, Morantz told me this was going to happen this way, and it's going to happen this way. So remember that.
Do you think do you think AI plays into the collectibles world at all? Just this idea that like if you have a piece of IP, you can instantiate it maybe much quicker across a whole host of images and videos and kind of build out an intellectual property world faster. Is that actually an accelerant to the collectible trade?
In general, I'm the person that's very cynical when it comes to emerging technologies.
Sure.
So, like autonomous driving as an example, like everyone with like GM, Ford, all of the big OEMs, they're finished because there's going to be autonomous driving. Oh, it's when it comes to AI, it's a big problem. At some point, the computers are going after the humans. And I don't think it's that far away. I think that the sci-fi movies, when it comes to AI, I feel it. I feel like there's going to be a big problem when it comes to artificial intelligence. And at some point, it's going to be the computers against the humans, China versus the US. Who's going to be the winner? Who the fuck knows? But we got big problems with AI, and it's interesting because you can't stop human innovation, and we've got this insatiable appetite to go into these technologies like artificial intelligence that are very disruptable. There's lots of money that is being poured into it. But what the future looks like, we have to be very, very, very careful. So artificial intelligence, it scares me. I mean, I like the productivity benefits, but AI, once the robots come after us, scares me.
What's your timeline there?
It's faster. It's faster than I would have thought. When I look at what's happening, I don't buy into emerging technologies. But when I look at the advancements in AI, this is no joke. And we have to be very, very, very careful about what's going to happen in artificial intelligence.
Where do you think we are in the market cycle? Do you think it's 1999, February of 2000? Is that even worth comping to, or do you comp to something else?
In AI, it feels early. Doesn't feel like we're at the end. It feels like we're at like the second or third inning, but who the hell knows? But at a high level, I think that I think we have to be very careful. When you think about the future of humanity and whether AI is going to benefit the future of humanity, I don't know.
Okay, let me tell you my little bit on this right here. One, Ryan's pretty crazy, right? He's saying all this good stuff for them, like putting the fear of God in them. But it's what I told you guys from the 90s. You know, the biggest fear was the internet, the unknown, and the internet is the greatest invention. It is the eighth wonder of the world, the greatest invention of our lifetime, of anyone's lifetime. It's so great because unlike the pyramids and unlike the gardens of Babylon and unlike any other wonder of the world, you can't see it. You cannot see. You can walk around this world and you'll never know the internet exists. But if you have this little gadget, if you have a PC, well, now we can see it. And the image comes to life. And everything's stored within it. The history of the world is stored in that internet. And the only thing that's not stored in there is your memory, right? So the human brain does like 11 million processes unconsciously, right? Like the subconscious does 11 million processes a second, I want to say it was, versus your conscious brain does about 50 to 60. So the greatest invention on God's earth is the human brain, then the internet. They're very far apart. Very far apart. And the thing about the internet is this. While everyone's focused on the greater good, which I've said, it's also the worst. There's been the worst things have happened because of the internet. The sharing of images that you would never want to share. The invention of hate, of social media, of intrusion. This vehicle that we use, I'm in my home in California. You're seeing me live stream. Thousands of people end up watching this live stream, and that in itself is a remarkable thing. Not fathomable back in 1995 when the Pentium 2 processing chip came out. No. Never thought in a million years we'd be where we are today with the internet. So AI is the same way. It is scary. And it's not regulated. Not enough. There's not enough safety net and safety guards in place for what's about to come to you. And you won't know because people are top secret with AI. And the little bits they give you, okay, just so that we're clear, when I was coming up in the 90s as a young lad, and my parents bought one of those Hewlett-Packard computers, an HP computer with an HP printer, or maybe your parents bought you a Gateway or a Compact. You could make greeting cards. You can play some Ski Simulator or Minesweeper or Solitaire. And you could probably sign in and go to America Online and use your phone line and lock up the phone, and you could probably go to Yahoo chat channels. There was Netscape. There was other websites along the way. But as we got past them, and as we got towards Kazaa and BearShare and Napster, you got past all of these things that allow you to upload and download the internet. We went from MP3 players to Apple Music, iPods to iPads. We've transitioned the whole way. There's a new Samsung ring. You can buy a new ring that you can wear, and it tells you your heart, everything. It looks amazing. $400. Get this shit out of here, bro. The internet's amazing. But now AI is taking the internet to another level that we never thought we'd get to. So that's what Ryan's talking about, the fear. I'm just talking about there is no government agency right now to put safety net parameters on it. It's going to be used for the greater evil rather than the greater good. What are the little things they're giving you now? Remember, we had greeting cards, right? And we had some games we played like Doom. Well, guess what? They gave us AI music. They gave us AI-generated pictures and videos, little things at a time for us to understand it, for us to, adopt it. They're trying to condition you right now. Now what happens? How crazy does it get? Is an image going to come across my screen that I think is real and it's not, and I react? Is it going to entice people? Or maybe it's ahead of its time. Just saying. I knew what graphics did for me. Right? Special effects, as they call them. All these movies coming, they look so real when we were coming up. Now we're sitting here and we look at these movies and we go, Stargate? Trash. Look at that. What? Portal. What is that? The Abyss. Predator. Rambo 3. It didn't matter what came out. You thought it was so realistic then. You laugh about it now. Right? You laugh about Independence Day. Armageddon. A lot of the movies, Jurassic Park. Look at that. Now look at what it looks like. So that's what Ryan's talking about, just so we're clear. Keep going, Ryan. Ryan's going to go off on the deep end here. I don't mind. He's worth my 20 minutes.
I would, if I was running a dictatorship and someone made me king and you told me, should we move forward with this technology? It's not clear to me whether moving forward with AI is going to benefit everyone. It's definitely going to benefit the few that are invested in the industry, but there's going to be a lot of people that are not going to benefit from artificial intelligence. So,
but
I
if
don't know. I mean,
ChatGPT is depending on paid users right now. They can't, if they killed off humanity, that'd be kind of bad for business. Isn't there a way to solve that alignment issue?
If you look at the tractor trailer, the U.S. in the 1800s, and the tractor trailer, I think it was like 80% of the population was working on the farm. And then all of a sudden, tractor trailer comes along, and a few centuries later, it's like 2 to 3% of the population is working in farming. And you would have said, how the hell can the U.S. economy adapt to something that's so disruptive? And we did. But when it comes to artificial intelligence, I feel like it's different. Maybe I'm biased from some of these sci-fi movies, but there's going to be a lot of wealth inequality that's created. I don't like it. I mean, there's opportunities to be had. There's no question about it. But is it better for humanity in aggregate, AI? What do you think?
I love that he kept asking them, what do you think? and here's the other part about that. What do you think? I honestly don't think AI is going to be fully integrated. And there's a reason why. And this is just the 10,000 foot view that we were talking about. 10,000 foot view of AI is it's helpful, it's great, it maximizes efficiency, awesome, right? When you dial down the view to the 1,000 foot view, 10 foot view, the individuals in charge of AI companies, the individuals in charge of this government have exploited loopholes in taxes, in investing, in living life. And AI will exploit that. AI will go through your bank accounts and find out who's lying on certain things. And once it's a digital age of you can't lie, you can't embellish, you can't say you live somewhere and you operate somewhere else. If a company can go through your expenses, or a government can, and say, well, you filed for this and you only make this, and AI is going to be able to navigate all of those loopholes. And I don't think people want people in their business, or I think they still want to manipulate the info that they're doing. So that's my opinion. So if you live in a an integral way, it's going to be very apparent. Just me. Just little old me. But hey, I invest in the GameStop.
Well, I think for me, I think it's very straightforward to imagine the dark sci-fi timeline, but it feels farther away. I mean, at least in our corner of the internet, people have been reacting to Karpathy's interview with Darkesh that was, I think, went live Thursday night, and it feels like the debate right now is AI frontier lab progress slowing down? Is it just autocomplete, and if it's autocomplete and we don't have, and if the rate of progress is slowing down, is there massive overinvestment right now? And what I'm hearing from you is simultaneously, generally kind of the doomer point of view, which I think is fair, but at the same time, it doesn't sound like if you were running a hyperscaler, you'd be ramping up capex right now.
Are we smart enough as a society to understand what the benefits are and what are the downsides? And everyone has perverse incentives. So someone who's in the AI industry is going to tell us how AI is the best thing since sliced bread. But in general, as a society, if you think across like human evolution over centuries, do I want to take this emerging technology and is this going to benefit the human population in aggregate over the long term? It's TBD. What happens when AI becomes smarter than us?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Do you think the solution's government intervention, just good stewardship by the leaders of the foundation model labs? Like, who actually has the responsibility of stewarding the new technology most effectively?
It's governments, and it's ones who have a long tenure. You look at America, the presidential cycle is 4 years. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's necessarily long-term incentives.
Yeah.
But who cares about where humanity is going to be, not in 4 years from now, not when they check out, but in 100 years from now? Who's got a long-term focus on this emerging technology, and who cares about humanity over centuries? But we have to be very, very careful about this technology.
What was your view on social media a decade ago? It was quite popular for a period to say that social media was destroying humanity. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We seem to have found a way through. But is your view that AI is as bad as people once maybe thought social media would be? Like what specifically, when you think about, one of the things we laugh about internally is just how easy it is to clock when somebody uses AI to generate like a cover letter or a job application, right? It's like a really good way to just get your cover letter application ignored is just to generate it with ChatGPT. It's just beyond obvious, and I'm sure your team has seen a lot of this too. But I'm curious, like, what do you think before we get to the sci-fi doomer scenario where the computers rise up and destroy us all? What's kind of like the immediate impact that you're worried about?
Social media is one of the worst things that happened to humanity. If you look at Instagram, people are so easily manipulated. They filter videos, they filter pictures. You look at these young people, their expectations, their lack of work ethic. China has censored all of this stuff for good reason, because it's so easy to manipulate the layman. And so in general, when I look at social media, I say, well, has it benefited humanity or has it been toxic? So there's no question that social media is toxic.
Absolutely. Everything but this channel, Ryan. You're absolutely right.
AI clearly will increase productivity, but at what cost? At what cost? I think we have to be very, very careful.
When public company CEOs talk about how much efficiency they're getting out of AI, do you think that they're actually getting efficiency out of AI, or do you think they're just pushing their teams harder to be more efficient, and they want to blame the impact on AI?
It's both. It's both. But AI, without question, increases productivity. But, again, it's short-term versus long-term. So if you're running Johnson & Johnson or Procter & Gamble, and you can use artificial intelligence, and you could reduce your cost structure because you've got all these humans that are doing these mundane tasks, and all of a sudden you realize the computers are going to do it better. Well, duh, you're going to reduce your cost structure. But all of a sudden, when you have all of these people that are unemployed and the demand for your product goes away, what's better? You want to keep people employed and have some kind of self-worth and working hard and making money? Or do you want to replace them and give them universal basic income? And then what does that mean? Does your consumption and demand for your product in aggregate go up or go down as a result of artificial intelligence? I don't know. But one thing I know for certain is that the CEOs, if they can reduce their cost structure in the short term, they're going to take computers over humans. But is that better for humanity over the long term? You tell me. Everyone on UBI over the long term, how does that make them feel? People need a purpose.
You don't think we'll create new jobs? I mean, we created email jobs. A lot of them could go away and the world wouldn't be too much different.
Artificial intelligence feels different.
Yeah, I just wonder if we
There
could
is.
compete on other things.
It feels different.
Like we could still have hierarchies and competitions on things that only humans can do. I mean, we already do this with sports and all sorts of things. There's probably still some sort of like reproductive battle to try and get to the top of the stack, even if you don't need to go and work to make money. There are still other things that you do with your time to raise your status in society. But I don't know. It is a bizarre future to think about. I just wonder if it's 5 years, 10 years, 50 years away.
We're in an era of instant gratification. That's the American system, is that now. Mm-hmm. Innovation, making money today, but when you think about 10, 20, 30 years from now, and artificial intelligence, what does the world look like? It's not about job displacement. It's not about control. But is artificial intelligence going to control us? Or will we control artificial intelligence?
And you would argue that social media already controls how we feel day to day. We open our phone and decide our mood based on what's happening in faraway places that we have nothing to do with.
Social media is a big problem.
It's so
easy. If you look at the divisiveness in this country, social media, whether you're a conservative, you go on Instagram and you're conservative, and then all of a sudden you get, these algorithms serve you all kinds of things that are going to make you mad. And if you're a liberal, you all of a sudden go on social media and you see all kinds of media that's going to make you mad. Yeah. Why is it that ultimately humanity, it comes down to why do we have to lose something in order to appreciate? Well, it feels like the only neutralizer is death and war. Doesn't have to be that way, but it feels like the only way we can ultimately appreciate something is if we actually lose it. It's very, very, very sad, but that's what it comes down to. There's so much indivisiveness in America. If we can just all come together and figure out things that we both agree on, but instead we figure out the reasons why we're going to be divided, and the politicians divide us. And
well, I think a lot of people have
like
agreed.
it.
A lot of people on social media have agreed that they like you a lot. So there's one white pill in there.
Yeah, there's some.
Until they don't.
Well, hopefully it doesn't.
Do they like me over the long term? I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
True leadership is not about dividing people. It's figuring out how do we bring people together over the long term to benefit humanity.
Yeah. How do you apply that sort of thinking to video games? Because there was a lot of fear mongering about violent video games causing kids to become violent.
By the way, beta males, you have entered the chat. Here you go.
The government did step in and regulate video games with the ESRB. Every game is given a rating, and young kids, they can figure out a way to get access to some violent video games, but it's, parents are more in control now. And I feel like we more or less got the good outcome, and people can enjoy video games responsibly. And of course, there's some negative scenarios, but in general, I feel like video games have been just like a cool medium for artists to tell stories. There's wide variety of experiences. It feels like we as humanity got through that test, and whereas maybe we're still in the middle of the fight for positive social media, and maybe just at the beginning of the fight for positive AI outcomes. What lessons should we take from like how humanity dealt with video games?
I think the Chinese have restricted their children from playing video games. I let my kids play video games. Doesn't benefit unless they're playing like Mario Kart.
Yeah.
But you look at these like Call of Duty, they're killing each other. I want positive influences. I want things that are healthy. I want things where people are going to learn. Mm-hmm. Blowing someone's head off, exposing it to young people, governments, you look at America, it's the land of the free. It's great. It works well for immigrants because they come from places where it's shit, and they come to America, they have all this freedom and their gratitude. They're grateful, but then you look at people where they don't necessarily have that level of gratitude, and they come to America, you give them all this freedom, and they destroy themselves. So do I want my kids going and playing Call of Duty, blowing each other's heads off? And then you look at the Chinese, and they're restricting the ability to play video games. And you say, well, they're censoring versus we're free. Well, what's better for humanity? Having boundaries and having rules, or just letting people do whatever the hell they want, destroy their lives?
Have you ever thought about getting into politics?
I was born in Canada.
There are some positions you could still run for.
Which ones? Senator?
Yeah. I think you could be. I don't know if you can be senator, but you could be maybe mayor, right? Isn't the mayor of New York not born in America? Or going?
What is it? There was this saying my heard.
You could be city councilman, maybe.
Yeah. Because they'd kill me.
Well, you could go to Canada. You could be prime minister of Canada.
Ugh. Too honest. I'm too honest.
You're too
I'd have
honest.
to be full of shit. I'd have to be sure. They couldn't handle me. Politicians, they're like diapers. They start to stink. They start to stink very quickly. I couldn't play the bullshit.
No.
So you want to tell people what they want to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm not playing that game of what they want to hear. But when it comes to artificial intelligence and social media in general, is it beneficial to society and to humanity as a whole? I don't like it.
That's extremely honest.
Humor confirmed.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, thank you so much.
I sold all my cards back to GameStop right now. Got all of my. I didn't care. Sold them all to GameStop, all to PSA, whatever they need. They need inventory, guys. So I'm giving them back the cards. I don't need them. I much rather help out the company. That's just who I am. I don't care. Don't care one bit what it cost me. Nope. It's all for the kids. All for GameStop. So gave it back to them right now. That's what I had decided while I was listening to this interview. Shout out to Ryan Cohen and GameStop. I'm a real one, Ryan. Don't worry about me. I'm good, bro.
Been a really great interview. Thanks so much for calling.
Yeah. Anything else? Anything else
to
that we
share?
missed?
You know, we'd love to. Anything else that you're working on that we didn't touch on? We'd love to talk about.
You guys got anything else?
I think we're good.
Last question. What's your relationship like with Roaring Kitty? You guys talk much?
Ask him.
Okay. Yeah, we'd love to have him on the show. Maybe we'll
Get him on the show.
That'd be a lot of fun. He's
Yeah.
you know, we're pretty new to the live streaming thing. I always enjoy talking to people who operate in the same medium, and so
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll have a
tell
good conversation.
Yeah. We don't want day traders. We want.
Yeah.
I'll have a conversation with him if he's focused on decades and centuries, not on making quick buck.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
I like it.
Well, yeah. Well, we're rooting for you for the next decade, for the next century, for the next millennia. Thank you so much for coming on the show. This was fantastic.
Yeah,
We'll
great
talk to you
chatting,
soon.
Ryan. Cheers.
Okay.
Have
Bye,
a good
guys.
one. Bye.
Okay. Bye, guys. Hey, let's just put it out there right now. Ryan Cohen. Oh, my wife is texting me. Hold on. Gotta see. Mama! Come over. You said you have a question. I have an answer. What's going on? Hold on, guys.
Do you remember blowing bubbles when you were younger?
Blowing bubbles when I was younger.
Yeah.
Pause. Michael Jackson has a monkey named Bubbles. I remember. It's, okay, go ahead. I'm listening. You ever seen that picture in my parents' living room, and it's Michael Jackson and he's holding a monkey? That's his monkey Bubbles. My mom has like the official photo. Yeah. So when you said it, yeah, I remember blowing bubbles when I was younger. What's up?
Oh, good, because he's back in town. He's been asking for you.
Stupid. Oh my god. So my wife said, "Oh, good, he's back in town. He's been asking for you." Oh, yeah. Sorry, baby. Sorry, babe. Oh man, I seen that joke coming. Oh, you guys are stupid, bro. This woman's ridiculous. Oh, in the words of Ryan Cohen, this woman's retarded. No, love you guys. Love Ryan's honesty and compassion for bettering humanity. He's a real one. Yeah, I wish they asked if they were expanding card realms like Magic. They already are. They already explained they are. Yeah, so my wife interrupted the show to say that. All right. That's my cue. I got to go have dinner. I love you guys. I'd love to hang out all night. 2.5 hours is long enough. We love Delina. She's the Miss Hedge Fund. Yeah, the original Miss Hedge Fund. She still manages my home, my household, my investments, by the way. 42,103, 1734.34 as of today. So let's just talk about Ryan really quick. I was going to go after take two. We'll do the poll right now. I haven't finished yet. But make sure you guys vote in the poll right there in the chat. So Take Two Interactive Software. Obviously, this is the company that's building Grand Theft Auto 6. Everybody's excited about this company making all this money, which they lose $4 billion a year right now. There is no profits at this company right now because of waiting for that game to come out. Once the game comes out, they're going to make hundreds of millions of dollars to, if not billions. But let's see their revenue. Their revenue is at 1.5, which is fine. Tons of money going out the door. They have no operating income at all. They're losing money. Interest alone is going to kick their ass. They borrowed money to get this game out. They're in the negative as we can speak. If you see here, they had pre-tax. I don't understand what the hell's going on here, but they had a goodwill write-off. Boom. Monster. $3.5 billion. So that is a real number. That is unfortunate, but that's the truth of the company. The fact that they're still trading at these levels and that they're one of the top 300 companies in the world, this is ridiculous. They have $2 billion cash. They're hanging on for the release of this game. Good for them. Goodwill still to burn off at $1 billion. Their total assets, $9.6 billion. You come here, they have some shareholder equity, retained earnings. They're losing money. Hopefully they make money soon. And they've been losing money. Shareholder equity, 3.49. And they're coming in at cash, no cash. Book value, 18. They're trading at over 10x on book without the game coming out. So what does that tell you? That is ridiculous to pay this price. This is a price that's already boxed in. I'm good on not paying it. The multiple does not make sense. A lot of things don't make sense. They tell me they're going to have a 4 PE. When are they making money? I'd love to know. The game's not coming out anytime soon. So, GameStop's better than Take-Two. By the way, when you come out with the game and you make all the money in the world, Take-Two. So does GameStop. I just want to put that out there. Let's get you an update on GameStop's PSA graded cards, how many cards are available at the moment. We will now see a total of 614, even less than when I started the show. They are going away. People are buying cards. There's a downtown Josh Allen 10. Look at this crazy ass card for $1,200. I bet it's worth that much for a while. Josh Allen happens to be the reigning MVP, but I'm not impressed. I saw Dak Prescott, the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL, this past week. Dak is firing on all cylinders, guys. Those Dallas Cowboys, number one offense in the NFL, says a lot. I know. You guys should have been there. If you're not there, you're missing it. Oh, I didn't even show you the website. There it is. There's the website. Who cares about the cards? Never mind. Back to you. I was just doing me. All right. Anyway, he's the angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry Atari Sega nerd. If you haven't ever, or if it's been a while, check out some Angry Video Nerd Morant's. Angry Video Nerd. Thanks, bro. I guess. Come sum it out. You're welcome. Okay, let's get the poll results. Ending the poll now. Let's see what we got here, guys. It tells us over 270 of you have voted. By the way, there's been over 1,000 people come to the live stream. So only 1/5 of you voted, 1/3, 1/4. And let's see. It says 20 years plus people are willing to hold GameStop. I'll be 60. Yes, it's not a problem. The bulk of you guys are willing to hold more than 32% of you than 20 years. And I would also tell you 10 years plus. So any 10 years to 20 years, boom, are going to be half of you, 48%. 5 more years, 31%. That's a great number. So 79% of people are willing to hold, at least 5 years. 79% of you. And the 21% that are beta males. It's okay. We all need to have both sides of the team here. I appreciate you guys tonight. Just know you should feel giddy inside after that interview with Ryan Cohen. Ryan is a bull for GameStop. Ryan is telling you that he does not have the inventory that he needs to generate the max amount of revenue. So what does that mean for us? That means that as PSA grades more cards and as you keep taking them in and you keep giving back cards to that inventory, you guys will figure out how much revenue is coming to the bottom line. We are the inventory. Remember that. GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop. GameStop. I got to go change the cat litter box. That's what I got to do. I'll see you around, millionaires. Peace. Have a good night.